okay, people either tend to not understand or refuse to accept the reality of how much of a psychologically negative effect the presence of a cell phone has. Now, it sounds silly, but it's a real thing. When someone has a cell phone and they show up with you or they're hanging out with you, you don't feel like you're the most important focus or person in their life at that time. If someone takes their cell phone, they show up to dinner or lunch or whatever, they take their cell phone and they put it on the table, you instantly get a subconscious perception that they're waiting for something, that they're leaning towards something, that there's something that's got their attention. They're waiting on a call, they're waiting on a text, they're waiting on some kind of update or notification. Whatever it is, their attention isn't on you. Now, they may be dividing their attention. You may get a piece of their attention, but you know, and whether they say it or they admit it, and that's the thing, is most people don't want to admit it. Most people don't want to accept that just having their cell phone in their hand, having their cell phone right with them, that it's dividing their attention. I've had this conversation, me and my wife Kimberly had this conversation because we had both built up a habit of having our cell phone right here. We were both single. We were both, when we met each other, we were both single, and we both kind of had become, I don't know, we wanted to be there and be reliable to our friends and family. The people we cared about, the people we were closest to, we just always wanted them to know that, hey, we were right there, readily available for any possible thing that they could need at any given time. I always wanted to make sure my mom knew I was right there. I wanted to make sure, some of my friends were right there. I was in college. We were both in college, actually. We were both running our own business and both of us in college. And so because of that, we just wanted that. We wanted people to know we were readily accessible. Like people that we were studying with, people that I was studying with, people that I was working in the research lab at UT. I wanted them to know, hey, if you need me for anything at any given time, text me, call me, email me, whatever, I got you. I am right here. I'm always available. Well, it didn't seem like a bad thing. At the time, it felt like a good thing. It felt like that I was doing something to be supportive. But when I showed up to be, with people and engaged with people, I always had that phone right there. And even though I tried to be like, yeah, I'm here with you, like I had my phone right here. It was right here. And I knew that it was right here, right? Kimberly was the same way. She was a good friend. She was supportive to her friends, her sisters, her parents. Like she always wanted to be right there available if anybody needed anything. Like I said, she did it out of the kindness of her heart, like she genuinely wanted to be there for people. And so did I. That's what we thought we were doing. And it was when we got married that we realized, actually it was when we started dating, but definitely when we got married, that became a bigger thing. Like we started wanting to set aside time, right? That we're like, hey, this is time, we're putting our phone away and we're going to be together, right? We wanted to be fully engaged in one another. And then quickly after we got married, we, got pregnant and Corey was on his way. And then we wanted our phones readily available again because our cute little baby might do something and we don't want to miss it, right? But having that phone right there so we didn't miss anything, well, then we started, people started trying to engage us constantly again. And it was like, we had to try to make that effort, right? To be available, not just to everyone else, but, with one another. And I had this conversation with my daughter because my daughter, I would see her and she had conversation with me where she told me multiple times how she's like, oh, well, somebody texted me and I got to get back to him. And I was like, look, and I remember one time the conversation was initiated because I had texted her and she got back to me some hours later and apologized. And I was like, look, if it was urgent or something, I would have called you. But even if I call you, if you're busy with your family or you're busy with work or something, you don't have to get my phone call right away. It's like, and especially a text. A text is the idea of I'm messaging you so that way when you have time at your leisure, you can respond back to me. Not I texted you, therefore you must engage right away. And she explained to me how she felt like if someone texts, you need to respond back right away. That it was like urgent. And I was like, that rationale doesn't make sense. But that's how a lot of younger people are today. We've been so ingrained with this that a phone is no longer a convenient, accessible tool, but now like a crutch or a weight. A weight might be better because it weighs you down. It takes you away from what you're trying to do and who you're trying to engage with. And see, this is something that I find particularly important as I've grown my business more and I've grown in a different area where I'm utilizing social media so much more now. I'm utilizing social media to build my brand and engage with my audience. And so because of that, I utilize my phone for so many things. And I've got more than a dozen apps just on how to do things on my social media. How do I do things to build my brand? Different tools and things that I utilize growing and building my business. So it's like my phone is such a constant thing and my boys are growing up. And as I recently just started building this new brand and as I'm building this new website and trying to get more engagement, like even my youngest who's 8, he's going to be 9 in a few weeks actually. And he told me, he's like, Dad, you seem like you're working all the time now. And I really feel like I am working all the time. Anytime I have like, hey, I've got 10 minutes, you know what I could be doing? I could be doing this. Or I got 10 minutes, I could be doing that, or I could be doing this. But I've still got to make that active effort. And there's nothing wrong with trying to give all you can to your business. But remember why you're doing it. You're building your business for your family. You're building your business for your freedom. So you want to give enough to it so that way it grows, becomes successful. But you want to remember that you've got to take a step back at some point and say, hey, I'm setting aside this block of time to be with my family, to be with my loved ones. And when I'm going to be with them, I want to be fully engaged so my phone isn't present. It's a hard thing to do. It really is. It's a hard thing to do because we're in a society that's so encouraged and just we're conditioned to need that phone with us. We're conditioned to want that phone with us. We're conditioned to feel obligated to continue to respond to anyone and everyone all over the place. And that's just not how it really should be. And that's not how it really is. It's how we allow it to be. So I challenge each one of you, and I challenge myself on a daily basis to get better about this. And to get back to that place, I used to put my phone away every day when I came home from work, when me and Kimberly first got married. I'd come home and I would message or call whoever, I'd missed throughout the day. And I'd be like, hey, look, this is this and, whatever. And I'd catch up with anybody as quickly as I could. And normally like on the drive home or something like that. And then when I'd get to the house, I'd put my phone away, I'd turn the ringer off, and I'd look at it the next morning. Like I said, as I'm growing a business and I'm utilizing so many tools on my phone, it's a little harder to do that. But that needs to be a practice. So, like I said, I challenge you to make that time as I challenge myself. We continue, got to do better. And remember that impression that we give to other people, it's lasting. And when we've got our children, our spouse, our friends, our colleagues, people we're doing business with. And we all get together for a business meeting, family reunion, just to grab a cup of coffee, and we have our phone right there. If you're going to meet somebody and grab a cup of coffee, maybe that phone should be put away. So that way you can be fully engaged. Unless you feel there's some kind of urgent thing that could pop up with one of your children. I said, we have phones, and they're such an incredible tool that we have nowadays, but we allow them to weigh us down. We allow them to cripple us. It should be such an amazing benefit to be able to say, hey, you know what? I know that I have this emergency, instant access to someone if I need them. I just shouldn't abuse it so much. Let's just give it some more thought, you know what I'm saying? It's your boy. I hope this speaks to you. I hope it helps you. I hope it helps. I know it helps me to continue to talk about this. Because like I said, it just changes people's perspective. When they see you show up with the phone in hand, your focus isn't 100% on them and they never feel like it is. So I think it's important that we continue to remind ourselves of that. All right. Hope y'all have a great day. Y'all be blessed. Stay engaged with one another. I'm out.